Hello there, and welcome to That's No Moon, a Star Wars Legion podcast, the Christmas show. I'm Cockles, I'm your host, and if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see many faces that are pretty or not pretty all in one. I'll let you guys choose the answers to that one. We've got many people on here today, but first off, I'll just crack on with the usual crew and then introduce the special ones who have joined us today. First off, Andy has been preparing. It's Andy eats Bluey for Christmas and probably Bingo and the other one for Christmas. Terrell, how are you?
Yeah, a lot better.
Good. A lot better. Wonderful.
Yeah.
It helps when you can hear things, doesn't it, really?
Well, hear things and not just like dribbling out of my nose, and feeling a lot better compared to last recording.
Definitely glad you said dribbling out your nose and nothing else there. Moving on, he missed last show, but he's back now and he's still rolling with it because it's his favourite.
So we gotta make the most of our one night together. When it's over, you know we'll both be so alone.
It's Ollie running the Fury Road, Ollie Dime, back on that wagon. How are you, my friend? Oh, not bad, just plodding along, Christmas, shopping, spending too much money on things that for other people, all that kind of stuff. It's all par for the course. Finally, of the regular crew, because Tom couldn't make it, because Tom's Tom, and he has a social life, it seems, that we don't. So here he is, protecting the Lincolnshire fields from all of the water. Ever since you said you hate that song, it's just never going to change.
I just can't stand the thing.
Yeah, well, that's never going to change. It's like surely you would, when you said that, did you instantly go?
I regretted it immediately, and I should have said, actually, I love it, and I wish that you could play it more.
It can easily be arranged. So yes, are you well?
I am. I'm eagerly awaiting the next storm, of which shares my daughter's name.
Yes. Do you know what?
Wreck us.
I don't have her audio here, I'm afraid. So we'll just have to imagine everyone just went death, and the Ride of the Hero just came on this. That's all good.
That's what the storm's going to do to us.
Yes. It will. Right. Guests. Many guests. I'm going to introduce them in an order so I can remember because I've got the way I've got them here. So the first one, he's been on before, and I can't remember what his intro was, but I'm pretty sure. But I have it saved, so I'm just going to go. Here we go. How I remember.
Walk like an Ewok.
It's Andreas Killy, who definitely looks like an Ewok, who has, how are you doing? Good. You're welcome. This is now your third time, I think. You're on the one where Andy and Ollie went off to Worlds, the pre-Worlds a couple of years ago, and then you're on last Christmas, weren't you? There you go. Exactly. So the reason you talk Ewok specifically is because they're your native race, and you have an expert opinion on them. Is that correct? Cool. So for brief context, tell us quickly your name, where you're from, what you play mainly, and then we'll move on to the next guest. Essex, bruv. Things with fur is your speciality. Moving on. Thank you. Moving on. Now, where was his? There's his introduction. He was meant to be on. Was it last episode? Yes, he was meant to be on last episode, where he will have helped talk about the case for health care in America. But look, you missed out on that conversation. So instead, here he is.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you. No pills gonna cure my ill. I got a bad case of loving you.
And that's why he's back, because Andy, Jack, and Ollie and I have a bad case of loving Evan Paul.
Hey, glad to be back.
Works.
I turned off the ad blocker
It works.
and all my firewalls to just let the colonists right in, and I couldn't be happier for it. I wore a shirt from
Which is
what
offensive.
I understand is the most popular and coolest team, soccer team in all of England.
What's quite funny is the fact that even the Northerners are saying no, and they're nowhere near it, which is hilarious.
Oh no!
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
It's offensive to our precious eyes. But no, for context, Evan, just like Killy, tell us a little bit who you are and what you do and why you might be relevant in the Legion world.
Yeah, so I'm in Seattle, Washington, United States of America. And I also write and now podcast for the Fifth Trooper. And I'm usually a Republic player. I'm actually about to go on a break to play something with a little bit more variety for a while until our troopers come out. But yeah, glad to be here.
Wonderful. So next on to the introductions. What do I give him this one? Yes, here it is. There it is. I chose this because I couldn't find anything for his location other than the nation. Also, had I known that his glorious moustache was going to be on camera, I would have definitely found like the Robotnik theme tune. So in the meantime, he can have this and stand up and be patriotic. It goes on for a while. Reese Giffen from, I want to say Grand Rapids. That was correct, wasn't it?
Correct. Yeah, yep, it is. How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very good, mate. It's been a while, and we as a group have wanted to get you on for a long time because you were one of our first fans.
Awesome.
And we wanted you on. So tell us a bit about yourself. Where you're from? What you play?
I'm from Grand Rapids, which is in Michigan, United States. I usually play Empire, but I've been playing a lot of Shadow Collective lately.
Ooh, nice. And have you been playing since day one, or were you
Absolutely not.
Late bloomer? However, you had.
I actually picked up a Legion kit during the COVID shutdown, I think 2021, and I was just supposed to split it with my buddy, and of course he backed out, so I ended up with the full kit and thought, I need to fill out this army, and I just started collecting and never played for almost a whole year, and then thought, I have all of these models, I should probably figure out how to use them. So I started listening to podcasts. I found your guys' pretty quickly there, and that's how it's gone.
We salute you, sir. Thank you for finding us. Excuse my voice. I have been recovering from horrible seasonal flu stuff. Next up. So I did some research and I was doing some things and I was thinking, what can I do for this guy? And what can I do for this guy? And I don't know. And there was a few things. And his brother let me down on giving me some dirt information so I could have some funny intros. So instead I've got this, which I thought just quite funny.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
You may see him on the screen as Science Tom. We know him as Tom Austin. How you doing, Tom? So your bro was. I messaged your bro just saying, give me some funny info, give me some this, give me some this. And he's like, well, he works here, and I was like, no, he lives here. And I'm like, you can't really find any song to do with Grantham. So I was trying to think of some stuff, and that's what came up with. But you are, so that means you continue the tradition of having the name Austin on the show now and again. In that we have Austin Miller, we've got Tom by proxy has his son, who is already the better Legion player than like most of us. So you continue the Austin tradition that we have going on. Tell us a bit about yourself. Where you from? What do you play? He's a noob. Cool. No worries. So we look after boys. We have to look after the noob. We have to look after the. Nice. That's so good then. Nice. So moving on from a noob to a not noob, and I'll eat one. This one, they're probably these two are sitting there going, "Which one is he referring to? Which one's he referring to?" It's this guy first. Slow burner intro. This one. It's Tony Fox, as you can see him as CC1010 in our things. Now, do you know what's quite funny is I remembered that Andy went, why have you given him a Navy theme tune when he was in the Air Force? And I just remembered that once because Top Gun's actually Navy pilots, isn't it? But never mind. But yes, Tony, the link is he was in the Air Force regiment stuff. So there we go. How you doing, Tony? Very good. Thank you. Very good. I love the eagerness that you wanted to be on because like, even before I put the message out to say, we're doing the show, you messaged me saying, can I come on, please? I want to come on, please. I want to come back. So here we are. That's how I read it, and that's how I like. Whenever you messaged, I was that's how I hear your voice in my head as, "Oh, please, go closer, please." So that's it. As with the previous guys, bit of context. What was your name? Where do you come from, please? Nice. Is this a new Rebel soup list or something? Okay, right. Well, maybe that might be talked about a little later. And you've kind of introduced him. Now, some of us know him as Jeff. Some people know him as Podfree. Jack and I know, and Andy and Ollie and I know him as the Reverend Lord Podfree. Oh, but I haven't changed his theme tune.
Looking back on when we first met, I cannot escape and I cannot forget. Baby, you're the one. You still turn me on. You
Podfree's
can make me
coming
whole
home
again.
again. It's Jeff Podfree from
Monkey Hangerland,
well,
Hartlepool.
Hartlepool. That's it. From Hartlepool, and that was the tenuous link because one of the Atomic Kitten people was from Hartlepool, so I went with that. I think was the joke. There we go. How many Rebel soups have you been making, mate?
I'm up to version 17.
Version 17. Jesus, Christ alive.
And that's just on one theme. I've got two other themes running that are on about 4 or 5 each.
Right, someone's got a lot of time. Are you like me? Like when you sit down and do like, right, I've did a poo, so I'll just do I'll make a list and just do that sort of thing.
Yep.
Poop making, making poop
Absolutely.
and making lists.
Yeah, and it's not just Rebels. I've got Empire, Clones, etc. So
Lovely, awesome. Well, and you obviously were on previously. You've been on the show because you won the UKG with your quote from Ollie. Oh, you don't want to win with that list, but you did win with that list, and much to everyone's sort of surprise and happiness, I think that was the words.
yeah. And I'm doing something similar with this version, seeing how it can interact with the objectives.
Excellent. Well, first things first. You guys are all part of our lovely Patreon crew, and obviously us doing the show is helped by you guys. So first of all, give yourselves a pat on the back, and we appreciate everything you do in support and all that sort of stuff. So thank you very much for you guys' support, and it helps us do what's going to happen today. So we have plenty of giveaways for today for different tiers of our Patreon supporters, ranging from the tier 1 top tier guys, which will be some painted models from our very own Doubtful, Mr. Prouting. Jack, what have you got for them?
So for top tier patrons, you can have the chance of winning a Bad Batch. For every other patron, you have the chance of winning a Riot Control Squad that we painted for the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Just to clarify, that's a royal we of Jack, no Ollie involved.
No, it's the very only we of Jack, because that's just Jack. But you've also
just putting out there, like there
was no red on this.
I'm just saying that there is 2 award-winning painters, and we're just specifying which one painted this set of giveaways. Because otherwise, Jeff would get really upset that he'd miss out on the opportunity to win something painted by you.
So there's that. So we have some top tier painting stuff for people to win on there as well. But Jack, you've also left them unbased, so people who do win them, you can base them yourself in your own for your own army and stuff like that. And we're shipping globally, so that's to all of our patrons everywhere for the top tier and everyone else as well. On top of that, we have some token bags to give away. We have some ComScan stuff to give away. Jason at ComScan Gaming has said he'll give you a Christmas set. So if you for Christmas show, a set for the Christmas show, so you can win a set of tokens from them, which I'll talk more about in a bit. And Doble Custom Cards are giving some cards away as well. And I've got some sets. So if you're a Patreon supporter, you might be in some luck today. So thank you very much to you guys. So here's the format of the show. We're going to do a quiz. I've already divided you into teams of which you do not know yet, because I'll announce them in a second. And this is how the quiz goes. So first off, your teams are, each of you have a TNM Mooner captain. So Andy, Ollie and Jack are all captains. And on Andy's team are Reese and Killy. On Ollie's team are Tony and Tom. And on Jack's team are Evan and the Lord Podfrey, because I couldn't really separate the number one disciple.
You've all lost. I have God on my side.
Okay, so
Amen.
The question. Yes, had to be done. What we have are 3 rounds with 7 questions. The captain nominates the team member for each specific subject before the round. So I'll tell you the rounds, and then Andy, Ollie, and Jack say which one's doing which. Okay. Round 1 is true or false, based on just general knowledge in general. It's just pure random. Round 2 is higher or lower, based on alcohol percentage and ABV, because it's Christmas, because you'll be drink potentially if you're of that ilk. And round 3 will be true or false Star Wars edition. So that's it. So what I need from you now is, Andy, I want you to nominate who's doing what round in your team, please. So,
well, if I remember right, based on last year, Killy's going to step forward for the Star Wars because his knowledge is quite good. Okay. No, you look at me very weirdly. or do you want the general knowledge?
Bearing in mind it's only true or false, and I'll tell you how it works in a bit.
All right. So I'm going to give Reese because he's not much of a drinker, the Star Wars then, and then I'll take alcohol.
Okay. Ollie, who's doing what for you? Higher or lower alcohol ABV, so per drink. Star Wars, true or false, and general knowledge, true or false. 3. Because there's 3 of you.
False.
Drink. So drink, higher or lower. So the ABV, so higher or lower, drink. Star Wars, true or false. No, drink based on it being
Same
higher
thing.
or lower. And then general knowledge, true or false.
I wonder if anyone's had a drink before this.
That might have helped. Tony, Tom, and you, yes. Let's go into Ollie, yeah. Okay. So Tom, I've got you for general knowledge. Tony, I'll put you for Star Wars. Right, Jack, your team then, please.
Who's the drinker in my team? Because I'm not.
That's not me.
Our Lord and Saviour, you're going to be wasted on that, I'm afraid. Evan, you're a
Cheers.
doctor, aren't you?
Yes, that's what people tell me.
He's a smart fellow. He can do general knowledge.
Okay. There you go. So
Try not to let you
Not
down.
a smart man.
drink and Star Wars then, please, gentlemen. Who's doing what?
Jeff for drink. I'll do Star Wars.
Okay, lovely. Right. So the way this works, I'm going to ask the questions for the round one, and those who are playing in each round, I want to see you put it be thumbs up for true, thumbs down for false. So then you all do it simultaneously. So therefore, there's no like, oh, that person said that person said that. Okay, makes sense. And then I will tell you the answer, and you'll see how many marks you get. Are you all good with that? Yes.
Yep.
So round number one is general knowledge, and that is Killy, Tom, and Evan. Come on down. Right, cool. Question number one is true or false? Riga, the capital city of one of the Latvia. Riga is closer to the Arctic Circle than Aberdeen. True or false? And can I have your thumbs up or down now, please? So Killy says false. And also false. The answer is indeed false. So you all get 1 point. Team captains, if you can just keep count, just help me out while I'm doing this because I don't want to cock this up while I'm reading the questions at the same time. Number two. The letter A is the most commonly used letter in the English language. The answer is false. It's E. Okay. I think one person got that right. Right.
It's not like a professional writer or anything.
That helps. Number three, the phrase "let it go" in the song "Let It Go" from Disney appears exactly 20 times in the song. True or false? The answer is false. It's 21. Okay. So just realizing also for our podcast format, I will ask you to say your answers when you put your thumbs up in a second, because those who are listening will go, what did they just say? So question number 4. The only letter to not be on the periodic table is J. True or false? So stick your thumbs up and down. So Tom, you're saying false. Killy, you're saying J. Evan, you're saying false. So the answer is true. J is the only letter to not be on the periodic table. So well done, Killy.
I didn't think there were any Q's on there.
I said, well, I got the answers Google told me. So so Google is here. So anyway, right. South Africa has 3 capitals. True or false? Killy says true. Evan says false. Tom says false. Killy is correct. The answer is true.
It was 2.
Bloemfontein, Cape Town, and Pretoria. The answer's there. Number 6. Snow White was the first Disney princess. True or false? You are all correct. It is true. And you've all said true. Well done. Number 7. If football, the real one, is the most popular played sport in the world, as in playing participation, then hockey is the third. True or false? Field hockey. Field hockey. Who's typing? Who's not muted and typing? The answer is true. Field hockey is the third most popular sport with
hockey.
2 billion players playing, active players. It's huge. Yeah. The second, if you're interested, is cricket. Because it should, well,
Yeah,
I mean, that sounds...
that one makes sense.
That one felt obvious, so I definitely didn't include that in there. So that's the end of round one. Captains, can you remember who got what? So
I'm sorry,
Andy,
I let you down.
Andy, what did your team get you in round one?
How many questions were there? Because I was too busy double checking.
Seven.
Kelly, what did you get on the last two? Because I recorded the first five, and then I got distracted by the periodic table.
The last two questions were
Princess.
Snow Disney Princess, you got correct, and field hockey, and you got correct.
Oh, so the only one you got wrong was question 2.
Oh, you got 6 out of 7. Well done. So 6. Team 2, Ollie. What did your teammate get? What did he get? 4. And Jack, what did your teammate get?
I've been reliably informed by our Lord and Saviour that we got 6. I don't think we did.
No, we did. Did we not get 6?
We didn't get 6.
I think we got 2.
You think you got 2?
I think I got 2.
Oh wow. Okay. Right. Okay. Next up, then.
Wow, is it that bad?
I haven't seen nothing yet.
Next up, round 2 is higher or lower ABV. Now, I'm going to start with a drink, and I'm going to give you its alcohol level, and then from there, I'm going to give you the next drink, and then you're just going to go up and down. But I'm not going to give the ABVs each time because sometimes it will just definitely give it away. So, in playing in the drink round, I have Andy, Ollie, and Podfree. Come on down. All that sort of stuff. So, okay, I'll call them out then. Because you're out of
No
camera. So, yeah, that's fine. So, the starting drink is a pint of neck oil from Beavertown Brewery at 4.3%. The next drink is it higher or lower? Drink number 1, a pint of Stella Artois. Is it higher or lower than neck oil? Andy says higher.
What was neck oil? What percentage?
Neck oil is 4.3%. Ollie is saying higher and Jeff saying higher. You are all correct. Now, I'm not going to give the ABVs next. Now it's a case of you just figuring it out. So, after a pint of Stella, is the average glass of white wine, higher or lower than a pint of Stella?
We're still doing ABV.
ABV, yes. Higher or lower than a pint of Stella? Jeff says higher. Ollie says higher. Andy says lower. Andy, you're incorrect. It is higher. Okay. From there, after you have your glass of wine, everyone fancies your Jaeger bomb. Now, is a Jaeger bomb a standard Jaeger bomb, just an average? I know some people put a bit more Jaeger in, but there we go. An average Jaeger bomb, is it higher or lower than your average glass of wine, ABV wise? So Ollie, what are you saying? You're saying higher. You're all saying higher. You're all wrong. It's lower.
No, ABV.
Yeah, but the Jaeger bomb.
Yep.
The Jaeger
it's still
bomb.
35%.
It's not because you don't forget.
Are you talking alcohol units? I think Cockles wants alcohol units.
I've got an ABV written down, and I googled this to make sure because I actually even looked it up.
Well, it's because the Red Bull is going to bring it down.
Brings it much down.
So the Jaeger bomb is lower than the Jaeger.
That's the Jaeger. The Jaeger itself, yeah, but not the Jaeger bomb because the bomb is mixed and diluted, and that's what gives it the lower percentage. So screw you all.
This is just like J being the only letter not to appear on the periodic table. Which is not.
Which, by the way, is not correct.
No,
fact check you cockles. Q does not appear in the periodic table.
Get a point for that then.
Well, I'm just. It's called a Jaeger bomb. No. It's called a Jaeger bomb, not a shot of Jaeger.
Right. So we're currently on question 4, and we're saying Jaeger is lower than a glass of wine.
It is a Jaeger bomb.
A Jaeger bomb.
A Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bomb.
Yeah.
Not
Sorry.
the shot of Jaeger,
Yeah.
which would definitely be higher, but it's the Jaeger bomb once it's diluted. Evan is completely correct on this one. It's the diluted. Yes.
All right. The
Yes.
doctor said so.
The doctor is in the house. Right, next. Hey. Right, after a Jaeger bomb, is a pint of Guinness ABV percentage-wise higher or lower than the Jaeger bomb? And I'll have the answers there then. Where are you going? So Jeff said, so Andy says higher, Jeff says lower, and Ollie, you're saying lower, yes? You and Jeff and you are correct. It is lower. Okay. Drink number 5. A standard glass, averaged across everywhere. Standard glass of margarita. If it's built to the what is correct? Built to be the standard measurements and things like that. Is that a higher ABV than a Guinness or lower?
Just for the clarity of my team, is there ice in there and is it diluting it?
Ice will not be the liquid, so the ice does not dilute because the ice is solid.
Depends on how long.
Right.
Depends on how long you've left it.
Yeah, if you drink it quickly, then the ABV
Freshly
value
made.
If it's a
Right.
frozen margarita, then it's going to be sort of like half ice and half liquid. So,
Where
like,
in
what
the
are we
world
talking
is it
about?
being served? Because if it's being served in Nigeria, it's going to melt very quickly. If it's being served in Scotland, it's staying colder.
Also,
I'm
what
gonna-
altitude is it being served at?
I'm going
If
to
it's
say
at
start off and press you for an answer.
30,000 feet.
I'm going to press you for an answer, gentlemen.
So
Andy
where
says
we go
higher.
from a Guinness
From
to a
pint of Guinness
margarita.
to a glass of margarita. Guinness to a
But
margarita, yeah.
The volume's irrelevant. It's a Guinness to a margarita.
Yeah, Guinness to margarita. Is it higher ABV or lower ABV? Yeah. Jeff says higher. Andy says higher. Ollie, you say higher. Yes?
Yeah.
Of course it's higher. It's a freaking margarita. Right, from a
Jaeger
margarita.
bomb should have more than wine, but hey.
No. I'll tell you the percentage in a minute. From a standard glass of margarita, we're going to a standard glass of a cocktail called a slippery nipple. Is a slippery nipple higher ABV or lower ABV than a glass of margarita? And Andy says lower. Ollie, you're saying lower. And Jeff says lower. You are all, of course, correct. It is lower. There you go. And last
Still
but not
irrelevant. It's
least,
just percentage.
yeah, the percentage is all bad. And last drink, a section of each cocktail. Is it higher or lower than a slippery nipple? Andy says higher. Jeff says higher. Ollie says higher. It is, in fact, lower. It is lower.
Mm.
There we go.
I forgot to ask the atmospheric pressure of the drink being served. Sorry.
It's all right. It's fine because wouldn't have told you anyway. How? Yep. And what else?
Ice,
No.
condensation, humidity.
Again, percentage. It's ABV is percentages. Just because it's a bigger drink with more alcohol, technically more alcohol in it, percentage-wise, when you add the rest of the mixer in, makes it lower. That's how percentages work.
Yes.
So I'll tell you the percentages. Neck oil is 4.3. The Stella is 4.6. Average glass of white wine is 12%. The Jaeger bomb, bearing in mind it's mixed because it has mixer in, is 7%, believe it or not. A pint of Guinness is 4.2. Standard glass of margarita, when all built, considering with all the rest of the standard stuff, is 35%. That's strong.
But only when served in Aberdeen, right?
Yeah, only when served in Aberdeen. Then a slippery nipple is 21%, and a Sex on the Beach is 12.2. And I double checked all of my answers, and I had prepped this last night. So if Google told me the answers, I typed in literally what is the ABV of this. So that's that for you. According to a Google, Jaeger bomb varies from 7 to up to 35%. Yeah, so I exactly. So that varies from 7 being if you're adding all the Jaeger.
The
Well,
average of in the middle.
Sorry. No, it's fine. Well, it's what you can say. You got it wrong anyway, so don't worry. Can I have your scores on the doors, please?
3 big ones.
3 for Andy's team.
Sorry, guys.
5 for Ollie's team. Jack?
5.
Lovely. Okay.
Because of a technicality.
Which one?
So what every woman has said to you, so it's fine. Right. That's fine. Right. I've got a Star Wars. What? I don't know. I was trying. It was off the cuff. This is how it rolls.
He's rattled. Get him.
Right. Alex
approve.
Trebek. I'll tell you what, Alex Trebek never got this. Right. Round 3, Star Wars round. That basically is the ones who didn't take part. So in the first 2, so Star Wars round, and that would be Reese, Tony, and Jack. Come on down. Right. Question number 1. Anakin kills Dooku with his lightsaber and Obi-Wan's lightsaber. True or false? Jack says false. Tony says false. Reese says false.
When you say his, are you referring to Anakin's or Dooku's?
Anakin's own lightsaber.
Okay,
So
just want to be crystal clear.
Yes, Anakin's, but it doesn't matter because they're all correct anyway. Well done. Question number 2. Gold Squadron was originally an A-Wing squadron. True or false? So Tony's going false. Jack's false. Reese is true. The answer is false. The answer was false. Well done. Question number 3. Han Solo won the Millennium Falcon in a bet playing Sabak. True or false? The correct answer is true, and you are all saying true. Well done. Question number 4. Les Dawson, aka Wedge Antilles, and Ewan McGregor, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi, are related and are in fact second cousins. True or false? Jack says false. Les Dawson and Ewan McGregor are related and are second cousins. True or false? The answer is false. They're uncle and nephew. So Jack said false, and Tony and Reese said false. True. Sorry. So that's they miss out on a point there.
Well done, Jack.
So they would. Yeah, they're uncle and nephew. So there you go. Question number 5. Luke Skywalker lost his right hand to Vader. True or false? Reese says true. Jack says true. Tony says false. Tony is incorrect because Jack and Reese are correct. He lost his right hand. And then he made... We did. That just shows how poorly Tony's memory is.
Shows how poor you are at coming up with new questions.
I mean, it still caught someone else, so I'm happy that was the idea. Right. Number 6. Cobb Vanth has Mando's armor in The Mandalorian before he has to give it away. True or false? Jack says false. Tony says true. Reese says false. Jack and Reese, give yourself a point. For he actually has Boba Fett's armor. No, he has Mando's armor. No.
Mando as in Din Djarin.
Mando as in Din Djarin. Cobb Vanth has Mando's armor in The Mandalorian. That was the question. I mean... Just chucking it out there. The other two teams got it. The other two teams got it right.
Is he that low?
Oh, dear, I'm cough. Hang on 1 second. Excuse me. Right. Last question. Let's see what you think. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars film. True or false? Jack says false. Reese says false.
You're just embracing the bullshit.
Tony says true, and of course it's Empire Strikes Back is my favourite Star Wars film.
You're not a man of culture, you're not a man of alcohol.
I thought you were a film.
You're periodic
boy.
See here, Cockles Faulkner.
Explain it.
No, but my
Probably
favourite film. My favourite film
I demand
no one-
an actual question because we could have smashed a 7 out of 7 there.
I want a recount.
You want a recount?
Stop the count. Stop the count.
Yep,
We got 7.
yep.
Okay, well,
That's too soon, Jack.
It actually is
God,
over
did
here.
you ask another question?
I'm not ready for those kind of jokes.
right. Can I have Andy? Can I have your round 3 score, please? From
We got
Reese?
4 because of the stupid one at the end.
All right. Everyone had a chance. Ollie, how many did you get, please? And Jack, how many did you get in your round?
I got 6, but I should have had 7 if you gave me a proper question.
And don't forget the bonus one for the first round.
Which was?
Yeah, exactly.
Which was not there.
J.
That's a periodic table.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Actually
Hang on a second.
incorrect.
Hang on a
Yeah,
second.
because we
We're a
fact
bit
checked you.
diddled here.
Do you know what? Not even as if that's actually happened and it's pure fluke. Do you want to know what the scores are?
It's a
Hopefully we're
draw,
tied
right?
up.
It's a
Andy
tie game.
has 13. Ollie has 13. Jack has 13. So
Fantastic.
6 plus 3 plus 4 is 13. 4 plus 5 plus 4 is 13. 2 plus 5 plus 6 is 13. How have you all done that? That's very impressive.
If we had had a proper question, you'd have had a clear winner.
Yeah, but then equally, they might have got it right as well, mate.
Yeah,
So
but,
it was still would have been a bloody tie. Right, I tell you what.
where's the Q? Where's the Q in the periodic table? I'm still looking for it.
There isn't one.
Yeah, there is not one.
Right.
We'll take 13 and a half then on a recount.
Well, right. Winner goes to the oldest. Winner goes to the oldest patron. As I assume you mean oldest patron, as in the person who's been the patron the longest, because the oldest patron could be Jeff or Tony, mate.
Yeah, no.
Right. You know what I'll do? I'm gonna put some suspense into this, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk Legion for a little while I think of a question that is a tiebreaker. So, guys, you've submitted some lists, so I thought we'd have a look at some lists. So if I go up to the top, let's go to the chat, which is not there. Who wants to submit a list? Reese, Tony, Pod, Jeff, anyone who wants to submit a list? I'm not submitting a list. So
Yeah,
Reese,
go
have
ahead.
you got a list?
Yeah,
Right,
I've got
Reese.
a list.
Talk about your list, and then Jack, Andy, Ollie, you can discuss it, and we can all give you like group therapy with it, and see what everyone thinks. Go for it.
Amazing. Okay, so this list is purely made of everything I have painted. So if it's not painted, I couldn't include it. So I've went Iden, Krennic, Op Vader, the Superior Vader, Riot Control Squad, 2 Stormtroopers, one with a droid, both with DLT-19s, Imperial Death Trooper, Inferno Squad, and Imperial Special Forces.
Andy, fire away. Eviscerate. Go.
What other things do you have painted?
Boba.
Anything around the 80-point mark so we can get rid of them riot troopers? Do you have a dewback because they cost exactly the same?
Yes, I do. I have 2 of them.
Drop them riot troopers. You still got 3. You got 4 core in there. Have you got or 3?
I've got 3, I believe.
All right, so we'll have to swap it for another core. But anything other than them riot troopers, as much as
Okay.
I'd love to sing their praise, they're just like not worth the point cost in any shape or form.
You guys are really getting your
That's
patrons
sad.
excited for that giveaway.
They look so nice, though. They look great. I can't believe they're not good.
I think they are probably the best looking models they've ever released. Like,
Yeah, they're up there.
Yeah, I struggle to like the Magna Guards are really nice for that same kind of logic, because they got the capes and the staffs.
I think the lad is really something.
Yeah,
as a single model anyway.
Especially with how people customize it.
Yeah,
like I've seen so many with like ARC troopers hanging out of it,
right,
stuff like that. Yeah, so I think with that one with customizability is definitely the better of them. But as troops go, definitely Riot Troopers the best looking models. But after spending Cardiff playing them, they just don't do anything. Anything other than them. I like the Iden Krennic list. Obviously, I took that to Cardiff, and it does do pretty well. I did look at dropping Krennic and putting Vader in, just because the issue with the list tends to be that you struggle with melee, and that's why I put Riot Troopers in. But having Vader there will just do the same job. But obviously, Commander Vader is better.
I don't know, but fair point to everything except that last one.
But yeah, I think it should be fine if you can swap out them Riot Troopers for somehow. That's my 2 cents, literally. Where's Ollie gone? Is he buggered off?
I agree completely. I think if you've got 2 dewbacks, put both in, swap it out for, I don't know, get rid of Iden even. Because once she's done, but once she's done tax strike, she's just a body.
She is, but she can then, like, most people won't focus her. And if you're playing against red saves, you just deploy in sniper config, and you can pretty much with Krennic guarantee like a crit in a hit, like minimum. So therefore, with Pierce 1, you're guaranteeing 1 wound for her points cost, and with the free pip, I think it's justifiable to make her 100. I think she comes in 110-ish, and like she makes her points back in that regard from that 1 card. The rest of the game, if she's literally just plinking away, doing 1 or 2 wounds a turn, she's making her money back, and she can move and shoot with her sniper rifle, unlike Cassian. So I don't think she's that bad, but you do have to lean heavily into the free pip.
What was your core choices? Was it Riot Trooper and 2 Storms?
Yeah. Yep. I have plenty of Stormtroopers.
If you just swap the Riot Troopers for dewbacks, the list becomes illegal.
Yes, that's what, like, but you could swap them for a DLT squad. I think that was the one thing that because I was running a T21 and a Snowtrooper. I like the Snowtrooper for commandos, but I found the T21 wasn't very effective, and I'd quite happily swap that for a DLT Stormtrooper squad. They're also cheaper than a dewback. So when you're playing tax strike, if you play it turn 1, your early core can still move onto the board and just do a plink range 4 shot to kind of soften up a unit ready for you to then hit it with the tax strike as well. So yeah, I think that's what I would put in DLTs just after playing tax strike for a 2-dayer. It just leans in, because I found otherwise your snows can't shoot turn 1 because most people aren't stupid enough to move far enough forward for them to be able to reach you. And my T21's the same kind of logic. By the time you've moved on the board and then range 3, you can't shoot anything unless someone's been an idiot and walked very fast forward for you. So, yeah, take DLTs.
Got it.
What was the special forces again? Did you have all ISF?
I had both units. I had the Inferno Squad, and then I had an extra unit of the Special Forces.
Yeah.
Fully kitted.
Nice.
I've ran them with range troopers and had pretty good success, but that was before the rule change, actually. So,
I mean, what, with Vader as well still in that list?
No, I did not. I didn't have Vader.
Yeah, I think if you dropped Vader and took range troopers, just fully lean into that kind of ranged gun line Alpha Strike, I could see that being really good.
Big firepower list.
Yeah, but the one weakness is if an Anakin or ARC troopers make it into melee with you, you'll start to struggle.
Yeah, I had a Bad Batch come down my flank, and that was the end of the game for me.
Yeah.
They would do that. They will do that.
They're a pain.
So you're going to take this little nuggets of advice, and you're going to take that away, and then you can report back, Reese. Is that all right? Good,
absolutely.
Good. Right. I have the tiebreaker question. Here we go. Would you like to have the tiebreaker question? You're all going to answer it, so therefore, and then the closest person in each team will obviously help their team win. Okay. So the question is, what number do you get if you take the odds of C-3PO that he gives when surviving flying through an asteroid field, times by the number of films in the Skywalker saga, and take that total and times it by the amount of seasons in the animated Clone Wars series? Well, that's the idea of a tiebreaker. It's the closest number, isn't it, Andy? So it's not you're not going to be able to and all that sort of stuff. So
Fucking idiot. I apologise to our younger listeners, but
it's a tiebreaker question. The idea is to be close and guess. So yeah.
When you say the odds, do you mean like as a
So
decimal of
no. So
of
when
like,
he goes, the odds of surviving flying through an asteroid field are blah 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 to 1. So the blah 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 number
okay,
to 1. So that
Got
number times by the amount of Skywalker Saga films. Then again times by the number of seasons in the the Clone Wars animated series, and I will take numbers from you now, please. So, Andy, just give me a number, please.
819 million.
4, 5, 6. Okay, Reese. No, actually, I'll take Ollie's next. Different team. Ollie, give me a number. Jack, give me a number.
378 million.
3, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reese,
This is
give me a
amazing.
number.
Could just put
We'll do 301, 301.
Okay, Tony. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1.
Go on,
Evan?
Jeff. And two.
21,420,000.
Killy.
He's still working it out. Come back to him.
No.
Oh, you're doing pen and paper.
Don't forget to divide and carry across, Killy.
3, 2, 1. 302, 301, 302. Tom? And the Lord Podfrey?
720,000.
Okay. I can just tell you now, Andy, it's not you. Ollie, it might be you. Jack, it's definitely not you. Tony, definitely not you. The answer is, in fact, 234,360. Because the odds are 3,720 to 1.
Oh.
So you 3,720 to 1 times 9 and times by 7. Because there are 7 series there. So 234,360, 234,360, the closest. Oh, he's got to do some maths here because the closest is 234. I think that is going to be. Oh, do you know what? It's bloody tight between Reese and Tom. Ollie. Oh yeah, you're 235,000. Oh yeah, Ollie's team has just won. Ollie's team has just won. So I was too busy fixated on trying to figure out those two there. So Ollie, Tony, and Tom, congratulations! You are the 2025 Christmas quiz winners, despite all your freaking moaning about it as well.
Too right, they can moan.
There you go. Well done.
That's his languages, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's his languages, Jack. So Jack, he speaks over 6 million forms of communication, all that sort of stuff. So there we go. Do you know what? I think we should do a giveaway. Shall we do the first of many giveaways? So we will give away. So spoke with Comscan Gaming today, who said, I'm happy to give you a set of tokens for Christmas and give away. So Comscan Gaming are giving away a full set of tokens. You can choose to have them with the That's No Moon logo on or not, up to you. But I have put all of the names of our paid Patreon supporters in, and I'm going to click spin. And I've clicked, and we go and we'll see who pops up. It could be. It's Mikolai Radziwiecki, I've butchered his surname, I'm sure, but Mikolai, if you can contact us and let us know that you have won a set of Comscan tokens and let us know your address and all this sorts of stuff, please, and we can add you to the list. So congratulations, Mikolai. Right, who wants to do another list? Who wants to talk about a list? Go on then, Tony. Take it away. Go on then. Yep. Ollie, thoughts on that?
It's not worth it either. Like after again from Cardiff, my experience was because I ran the flamer on my 1G back. Like it never really got to pull it off, and if I'd faced someone who had a mega squad, it would have been nice. But the times I could double move and flame or something, I could also double move into melee and munch on them. And when you're just facing like 3-4 man squads, the flamer's not as consistent as the melee attack because it's rolling one black and a white versus one red and three red and three white. So you're rolling less. You're rolling less consistent dice against smaller squads with the flamer. Whereas Tony said from turn 1 onwards, there was plenty of times where my dewback was just double moving and never wasn't in range to flame or something. And it would have been helpful just to even just put a suppression out. So yeah, I think if you're running 3 of them, I could see the argument for 2 ranged, 1 flamer. But if you're just running 2, definitely go for two range guns, either the T21 or the range 4 gun that you've picked.
I feel like I should mention that the dice actually do get better as soon as you're at 4 minis with the flame rifle. Just like in terms of the average, it's not by much when it's compared to the bite. But certainly when you get to 5, it gets significantly better. But the average is even slightly better even at 4, but not by much.
Okay.
You're right that the bottom end is less reliable because of the lack of red dice. So if you really need to do 1 wound, is that maybe you would want to do the bite instead.
Yeah.
Nice. That makes sense. What should we do? Another list or another giveaway? Because we've got loads to give away today. In fact, let me just tell you. I've already told you what we're giving away. So do you want to giveaway or another list?
You're the host, Cockles.
Well, we're doing a giveaway. Cool.
Yeah,
the giveaway. The next up on the giveaway is Dope Custom Cards. Jordan Hatswell has given us 3 sets of cards. So we've got some mission cards, command card leader set of, so you can choose your leader and then give them a command card set. and some generics based on faction as well. So you can have some push assault ambush ones of your factions. So I'll do them in 3 successions. So just put it out there. Mickey, you staying in because that's the way that the lottery works. So here we go. First one for a set of mission cards from Doble Custom Cards, very kindly donated there, is going to... I've just got him down as Jason. So I've just got Jason. So I'll find him on our list and get in contact on there. So that is a set of mission cards. So Jason, putting that in there. Next up for the leader is Steve Pryor. Steve Pryor, you've won a set of command cards from a commander. You choose a commander, and then that'll be whisked away to you. So just let us know. And then the last for the generic cards will be, as I spin the wheel of names. The last one is Seb Dager. Seb, you are the lucky winner of a set of generic command cards based on your factions. So there you go. So that is very generously donated from Global Custom Cards. And of course, obviously, ComScan tokens as well for Mickey as well in the first giveaway. The next ones will be 2 token bags, a Riot Squad, and then Bad Batch. Let's move on. I reckon, Tom. You're the most recent player in our little cohort of players that we've got going here. If you had some questions to ask of some Legion veterans and some not so Legion hopefuls, what questions would you ask them? And I put you on the spot here. I'm fully aware of that, but it makes it more interesting because then you can actually go, oh yeah, I do want to know about that. Ollie, this seems like the perfect person to go. Ollie, I'll go Ollie, then Jeff for this one, and then anyone else wants to join in because it's definitely not Andy or my forte at the moment. Ha ha ha. When you did that, who were you generally correct with each other's guesses, or were you or not? Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Ollie, I don't know if you've listened back, but Dave Grant after MKGT was speaking about how different people play different things and all this sorts of stuff, and the way that the top tier players' brains work. And he was talking about how you play on what seems an observation, just pure muscle memory, and you just go, you know instinctively what to do in any given turn because you've played your list on so many repetitions. So do you? So yeah. So yeah. Did you hear? Did you hear what he said that or not? Nice. Now, I'll now throw the floor to Jeff, who I think has a different play style in terms of repetitive, the same list over and over again. But that's no less a negative. It's just different people, different brains. So, Jeff, how do you go and win, so to speak?
So I don't get anywhere near as many games as Ollie, but that's fine because what I do is I'll pull together a list. I actually start with the objectives and the missions, and I work out what I want to do, and then I'll build the list around sort of certain objectives. So the Rebel Soup I've got at the minute is very much geared around. It can play all missions, but it has three favoured ones, and they're the ones that aren't really picked by other people. So if I get onto a primary or secondary of my choosing, I know that my opponent's probably not played that many. And all the missions that I've taken are ones where I can get a victory point up quite quickly. And once you get a victory point up, then your opponent's on the back foot and they're having to chase the game. So you can, if you get a victory point up, you can just tie the game from there on. And they've got to really go for it. It was actually interesting. I was reading an article yesterday by Antoine Tsar, the French guy, which was written just after he'd won the first of his three French GTs. And he was saying something very similar. Just practice your list. Make sure you understand everything that's in it. And what I do is, if I've played a game, or even if I haven't played a game, I'll start thinking every day about my list and go, okay, what units are going to do what job on what mission? And if you can get to that point and you understand where all your pieces are and where they're going to move in the game, then you're looking for scenery at that point to what can I move behind, what ranges do I need to keep at, and doing that almost every day, just refreshing yourself about one unit or one command card or what sequence of command cards am I going to play, just anything like that. But it only has to be a tiny little bit that will get you up to a point where you understand your list intrinsically.
That seems, Tom, you're nodding in approval. I think that gives you two perspectives from two very, very good players. Obviously, one being champ and the other being champ as well. Your thoughts on that at all? Yep. Oh, interesting. Yep. Yep. Anyone else have any? Go on. Well, our Lord and Savior has something to say.
Don't as you say, don't be terrified of experimenting. Even if you think, oh, I kind of know what this does, try and play it in a different way in a game, because you may find out that what you think works, actually, there are other things that work as well. So it'll give you, or you know that this definitely doesn't work. So just keep going, keep experimenting.
Evan.
Yeah, so I actually wrote a couple articles about just about the generalities of some of the generalities of winning and losing games that exist outside of the idea of whatever list you're playing. And I think that one of them I need to rewrite, which is because of 2.6, which is the one related to like having a plan around the objectives before the game starts. But the two that remain the same is like one, knowing how to win fights, which are going to happen in some form or another, and just like sort of the basics of trying to have favorable mismatches towards you in terms of like the number of dice that are engaging each other, like attack dice versus defense dice. So I think that rather than going over all of it, is that I'll just reference that you can look that up. Is I think it was called Why Are Losing Games a Legion, and the first one's called Winning the Fight, and then the other one that is relevant is blaming the dice. So you hear a lot of players like very commonly talk about how, well, I lost this game because of this roll. When Legion, unlike some other games like RIP X-Wing, is that X-Wing was a game to where like a single bad dice roll versus like even a single crit from your opponent could actually decide the entire game if you like caused a damaged engine on soon to your fell or whatever. But Legion is not like that. Is that there's a lot of dice, especially now in the age of the new version of cover. There's so many dice that are thrown in each game. Is that the likelihood that one side actually had favorable rolls compared to the other is like relatively low. And so usually, like if you look back on a loss, like try to keep yourself away from blaming the dice and instead look towards either your strategy or your list building or your deployment strategy or any combination of those things, because it's way more likely that you lost because of that than luck.
Andy, you had a hand. You were doing the old Bobby Bob up and down.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to reinforce what Jeff said regarding making sure to try things that you either know work or don't. There's many times where I've been practicing for Worlds, and I'm like, I never want to play this mission. Like, I've got the last ban. I'm never gonna, like, at a tournament, I would never play this mission because I know it's the worst possible thing for my list. So, like, in pre point 2.6, like double Dark Troopers, I'd be like, I never want to play Bomb and Run. Like, if I had to, for whatever reason, I had a contingency for it. But let's play it out just to reinforce the fact that I know I should never ever play Bomb and Run. And sometimes playing the worst possible mission is sometimes a good, like, positive reinforcement learning. Because then if you do end up having to play it, you've got some experience, but also at the same time it kind of makes you go, it reminds you never want to play that mission. Like, you like, oh, I got spanked that time, let's never play that again, kind of thing. So it's good to sometimes play the worst possible things, but no, you need to go into that knowing that you shouldn't be playing this in the first place, but it's worth getting the experience with it as well.
Yeah, I think getting experiences from negative things is always a good thing. You learn from losses, and that applies that in sports and games and anything. Tony, you've been quite quiet. How do you try and go and win? Yeah, the idea of killing. I was going to say, the idea of killing thumbs. Killing thumbs is not a thing anymore, is it? Reese, what do you think? What do you see as your strengths and objectives when you play in your games? What do you go, I'm good at this, I want to play this? And what do you go, I'm not good at this, keep it, I want to avoid? What do you, in terms of the new missions?
I go for suppression usually. I feel like my dice hate me. So I know at least I can throw some shots and get some shots on. So I like to suppress when I play. I like to push at least a couple of the objectives so that I'm not on the back foot, like these guys have said. I don't like trying to climb uphill, basically, in my point of view. If they can get on the objectives faster. I I don't I haven't won a lot in the new with the new rules with the the POIs and things like that. I've basically just been hey, can we meet up and play, and can we just run this rule set so that I can challenge myself in it, because I agree experience is everything, and I play against a guy that's been playing since the beginning, and I, the it's just hard. to get games in and get down and then know and have the reactions to, okay, I see what he's doing on this side of the board. I need to, counter that and do that. So I honestly, right now, I don't really avoid anything. I try to play it all, but I do better with the suppression rules than anything else.
That makes sense. And on that note, like obviously, if you don't get to play too many games, so the likes of Jack, Killy, myself, we're young dads. I say young, we're not young, but we're dads of younger children. So it's harder for us to get games in. And Jeff, I mean, you've been there, and all this sorts of stuff. And so I'm not, yeah. But how does it? Do you think it helps, Killy, for this one for you, and then Jack? This you probably can liken into this one. Do you think playing just the one faction helps you hone yourself a bit better because you don't have to worry about going, oh, I've got my clones to worry about, my droids to worry about, and all this? Do you think that helps you focus? Because then you know what you know, and you don't like have to overthink and worry about other things. What I quite like there's a little wry smile at the bottom right of my screen where Mr. the Lord and Saviour Podfrey, Reverend Pod's going, yes, I think. But there, Reese, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I was actually gonna kind of. I've actually learned more playing the different. So I only play Empire and basically Shadow Collective, but my problem when I started playing the game was that because I only played those and I only read lists and what played that faction, I had no idea what I was in for when the arc sat down on the other side of the table from me that first time. And I think knowing all of the factions can really help you out. Sorry. Obviously knowing your army and knowing what you can do and your limitations is great, but I did that and I still got smashed, and it was like a hard lesson to go, okay, I have never played Luke before. I didn't realize he could come in and just turn off my units. Or I didn't realize, that tank could carry those B2s straight into me like that because I've never played droids before. So it was just so sorry, I just had like a little tidbit to add in there because I think it's great to know your own, but this game I feel like you have to know some of all of the different factions and what they can do before somebody pulls out a command card and you go, wait a second, what? You can do that, And that's just my 2 cents.
No, that makes sense. And I think I try to eliminate when I'm playing newer players or those who've not played for a long time, that sort of thing. I try to eliminate, I think, the gotcha moments. So, Jack, do you remember Alpha a few weeks ago? And I was just like, right, as I was playing a guy, and I can't remember his name, and I just said, have you played this against this before? Do you know what this card does and this card does? And he was like, no. And I said, Jack, just tell him about this. And I can't. It was. So you go on.
I was going to come in after you. I've got a different point.
Go on then. Far away.
I was just going to say I don't think that's the best way to do it.
Ooh.
I agree.
I think gotcha moments, especially for rebels, are the way you win.
So hold on. Let me put a caveat on that. Do you think it depending on the context of the game and the opponent you are and what you're doing? No, just not. Oh, okay. Oh, right.
I think because if you had a bad turn and you've just told him what your whole game plan is for this turn, I'm going to turn off your big hitters. And he goes, all right, sod you. I'll do, and now you'll die after that, and you will die. You could lose the game on that, and then you're going to feel a bit silly. If you keep your gotcha moments to yourself, they're going to go to a big tournament eventually, and then they're going to get hit with these gotcha moments
Yeah.
because they're not going to know everything. Reese hit the nail on the head. No one knows all the factions
Yeah,
when they
very
start
true.
out. So if I come in and I go, okay, I'm a Jedi, I've turned off your big hitter, I saw it come in, fantastic, and they go, oh, I didn't know that, and then they can go away and think about it.
I think the other thing to think about is like if you are at a tournament, like never you shouldn't be telling them that, because that's like your win condition. Like your command cards are secret for a reason, especially when you've got multiple options. I think if you're playing on a casual night with your mate or a local person, I will go, have you played against Palpatine before? And they say no. Okay, these are what his command cards are. So his 1 pip lets me attack multiple times, and that would just go, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, yeah, it is really cool, but it costs me a health to do it. You don't need to, like, you just give them a real brief summary. So they don't need to, like with Luke, it'd be like,
Yes,
I have a way
that was it.
to stop attacking. But it's very like, you need to, it's different to like Reese play on a casual night with a mate because that's all he gets to do, or you're at a tournament against someone. All right, you're still trying to be friendly, but you shouldn't be going, aha, like, don't forget I can do this.
Do you not think? Do you not think? So, so the context of what he was a relatively new player, and it was a friendly tournament alpha. I wasn't looking to go out all to win. I wasn't bothered if I lost. At the same time, I was just happy to get games in. So the context
He took
was
Luke
I
and
was
Bad Batch, but he wasn't going to win.
Luke and Bad Batch in Rebels. It was just their fun, but it was. How can I explain it? I knew that he wouldn't have known this stuff because he'd never played against Operative Luke. He didn't know that was that stuff. So I thought, well, if I help and that sort of help guide,
positive
play
negative,
experience.
no, positive negative reinforcement.
I'm sorry, dog trainer. Say that again.
You are positively reinforcing a negative experience. So his negative experience is you playing the gotcha moment, but you are positively reinforcing the learning process of that to make sure he never does it again. So
Okay.
it's a positive thing because you are reinforcing the negative thing that happened. Evan's nodding, so I think that's grammatically right-ish.
I was trying to work it
Yeah.
out, but I was just being a nice person. Screw you.
Memories of bad things that happened are stronger than memories of good things that happened, and therefore, like, the phrase "learning from your mistakes" is, not only accurate in sort of the casual sense, but you learn more from your mistakes than from your successes. And so you want to embrace that.
Fair enough, Jack.
And we're not all nice people, so if they go to a tournament with you and they go, oh, Cockles told me his whole game plan and it was a really nice game, then they go to a massive tournament and then everyone's like, I'm not telling you anything.
No, but
And
that's
it's
the thing.
gotcha. They can just go, well, that wasn't fun. I'm not going to play anymore.
In MK, I wouldn't do that. If at a GT, I wouldn't be doing something like that. It's something friendly.
I'm sure I've seen you do it. A big one. I'm 99% sure I've heard you say, "Oh, but I can do this."
Well, that's because again, I'm a nice person. I know I wouldn't win because I don't take anything. I never again. The one time I take meta and that's it. But I'm not a meta person. I just don't. No, it's all good, mate.
At the last alpha, I played against Tempest Force and I had a ton of impact. I think it was nearly at impact 10 or something like that. I told him what I had. He didn't check it. So when I took out an ATST turn 1, oh well, I didn't know you could do that. Well, sorry, pal, you didn't ask.
Yeah. Different
like,
people,
you've got over your
context.
list, and you've told if I was running Tempest and I go to someone like, what impact value are you running? Like, I don't like after your list, like you might have listed off to me and I'll go, right, so you impact 8 and you'll be like, no, I'm impact 10. Cool. I've got a rough idea that you can rip through me pretty quickly. Like it's public information on that regard. Like it's not like a command card, I guess. So
No,
Yeah.
you just Like I'm playing Sleeper Cell now, and not everybody has played against them. So you just say, right, have you played against Sleeper Cell before? No. There's the card. You've got 2 minutes to look at it.
There you go. Yeah.
Do with
Any
it what you will.
questions?
But that's open
Done.
information. Your command
Yeah.
card isn't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like you can go, oh, every time I move, I get an aim. Every time I move and I finish near an objective, I get a dodge. That's nothing special, and you're not televising what your threat range is, because that's the other thing. Like you can tell them you've got scout because it's all on the card, but you're never going to turn around to go to them. I have a threat range of range 4. Is it for them? Scout 2, speed 2, move plus range 2 guns. Yeah, so
Yeah,
threat
range
4.
4.
So you don't tell your opponent that I've got threat range 4, because that's the gotcha moment. Like, and that's the tactic behind what makes Sleeper Cell good.
There you go. I mean, to be fair, my brain doesn't work that way. And going, I think I can do range 4, just doesn't do that. But there we go. But anyway, Tom, that was a great question to start with, and it had a really good debate onto there. So nice. Let's do another giveaway. This is a open to all one. So for two ones or 2 token bags. Here we go. Ready? First one. The first one is going to Ed Law. Ed Law. Bravo, Ed. And then the second one. The second one on here is going to everyone's favourite mum, Holly Miller. There we go.
She's got a great use for command cards.
Yeah, she's going to. Yeah. No, this is the token bag, so it's all good. All the command card stuff we've got, yeah.
Right.
To be fair, she might appreciate that because last I checked, her and my mother were having a conversation about Star Wars material for their quiltings and makings and things like that. So now she'll be able to see how one's made and go, oh, I can make them for Austin. So there we go. So Holly Miller, bravo. Say that again. Ooh, very meow,
Shots fired.
meow. Very, very catty. Meow. Yes, this is true. I'm looking forward to your which is next, the reunion in America or the reunion in? No, you're not. You definitely cannot be doing that. I feel like it could lead to disaster, and international relations will be severed, and there'll be a new Cold War, all that kind of crap. Let's do a final list before we do the big giveaways and the final speakies. So, Killy, you want to put forward your list? I'm sorry, he does what? Let's hand this over to our Rebel experts first. Let's go with the Lord and Saviour, followed by Jack.
Oh, I wasn't listening. I was typing.
Disgraceful. Jack, go first.
So you. Oh Christ, no! I wasn't listening either. It's all gone in one ear and out the other.
It was all the phrasing that set
It's been
everyone
a
off.
long day.
Everyone was too busy being absolutely immature with the phrase at the beginning.
Okay, Kitty. Well, so you got layer at the start, yeah. What else? Yep. Which Luke? Up. Hang on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Up Luke and Bad Batch. Yeah, yeah. Okay, solid start. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's your core. Yep. Good choice. Excellent choice. 12 acts. Okay. Um, it's very similar to what's being run out there, which is 13 acts. And what they do is they drop the scattergun and some of your upgrades and put an Ewok slinger in. And the reason for
He'd
that
have to drop the
is
He
sleeper
already
cell
has
for that.
3 special forces though.
oh, you got 3 sleeper. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's yeah, it's 2 sleeper and an Ewok. You can possibly do. No, you can't. You can't. But it's basically devoid of upgrades. But you get your 13 acts, and what it means is you can hold Luke or Bad Batch to the end each round and just come in and mess up with everyone. But having that 13 acts is the key, as Tony will attest to.
I feel like Tony has a story about that.
It's something similar. Yeah, yeah. If you 12 is okay. Yeah, but it means that if you take any losses, and bear in mind you've got you got 1 fleet with a heavy upgrade and then 2 rebel troopers. You can lose one of those if you don't look after them too carefully. ATRTs are good. Yeah, ATRTs are good, but they can get focused down quite quickly. Having that 13 acts is a real big difference maker.
Jack, you were nodding away quietly there.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of playing Jedi, so I'm looking at Op Luke and thinking that's a good couple of units there you could probably squeeze out. But I'm still trying to make Jin work, so I'm not really an authority on rebels.
The Jin boy lover. There we go. Tony. Oh, Jin.
Yeah,
well, you know what?
she's gonna get updated in like 4 months.
She is gonna
take a break for now. Like do something that's fun instead of trying to make Jin work.
I love torture.
Such a sadist. Oh my God. So Tony, you were nodding away when Jeff was saying about to your experience. Can you elaborate and share that experience, maybe? Euphemisms. No, I've got time for it. Ollie, you're suspiciously quiet about all this rebel talk. What are your thoughts on Killy's list and/or the perspective of another rebel soup off with Jeff? Jeff, you had a question?
Yeah, with that 5.5, is that transport comes on full and Black Suns jump out and go completely forwards? Yeah.
Evan, you obviously are experienced player over in the United States of America. You are hearing some lists, obviously, from sort of like the European side / UK side of things. Are you seeing anything or feeling anything different, and or have any? What's the word? Not criticism. What's the word I'm looking for? Observations about what's been said and or suggested and put forward into the world.
I haven't heard anything that would seem like weird to see over here, for what it's worth. But I think that
Apart from gin, obviously.
Yeah, well, yeah, don't play gin. Yeah, like as far as the suggestions go, is that I haven't had anything to disagree with. I think that maybe the way that we do Republic lists is a little bit different on average over here, and maybe with Separatist list as well. But I feel like with Rebel and Empire, they're the two more kind of like standard factions, at least as of now, in terms of like what makes for a good list.
Briefly, what do you mean by in terms of the way you do Republic differently? Just very briefly, because we're going to do the last giveaways and then we shall wrap up. So, what do you reckon?
I've noticed that over in Europe is that it seems like the fives in general is a little bit more favored, and the fives super shotgun unit is a little bit more favored over there. And
It's super strong.
It is super expensive, and so like it becomes a question of points efficiency at the end of the day. And then as far as the droids go, is that I generally seem to see a little bit more use of the Force users in Europe compared to the US. Is that I think the average US list has like half of a Jedi, which is half of them have one, and the other half like have none. Whereas over in Europe, it seems like it's more common to think about running like one or two, or if you're Lila, 4 of them or whatever it was. Yeah, but I mean, it's not that different at the end of the day.
There's always an exception to the rule on that one. So yeah. Cool. Right. I think it's time for the big giveaways. So first off is the Riot Squad Troopers, which is open to all of the Patreon supporters. So here we go. And let's see where the Wheel of Names lands. Congratulations, Simon Merton. You have won yourself a squad of Riot Troopers. So get in contact with us, please, and we can find out your address. Do you know what I love there? I think. Oh no, it's not. It's not the Portsmouth Southampton thing going on. That was someone else. Simon Merton has won the Riot Squad. That's cool because he also is an Empire player as well. So that'd be quite good. So well done, Simon. And then on to the big Kahuna deal. So this one is going to our top tier level of Patreon supporters, and this is the Bad Batch, painted by Jack. Not based, so you can put your own basing on it to match into whatever armor you want. But we should put it out and say thank you to Asmodee for giving us a product to A, make some cool videos, which Jack will talk about in a bit, and B, give away to you guys. So you can expect some more of that coming in the future as well. So here we go. If I did that in this style of like, and here we go, from Batman, that would have been really good. Isn't that fun? Evan, do you fancy some Bad Batch for yourself there, buddy?
Oh yeah, sure.
Mate,
I can grab them at Adepticon.
Yeah, you have won the Bad Batch painted by Jack, which we'll send some pictures up and share in a bit. I will just say the person who it was a very close second. was Tony. There was literally a millimeters into it, so that's quite funny. But he's not here. Tony's just disappeared, so there you go. But we'll just tell him he didn't win anyway, so it doesn't matter. But congratulations to all of our giveaway winners. Evan, you look very happy with yourself.
Yeah, that's great. I have a bad batch, but I actually hadn't painted them yet, and now I have an excuse not to.
There you go. And yeah, like I say, we'll share. We shall share the pictures in a bit because Jack has painted them lovingly and carefully. And actually, to be fair, you can see them if you go on our YouTube channel. Because Jack, am I right in thinking are they the videoed ones?
No,
Oh,
they're not.
okay. Oh, you've done a different one. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I noticed my Rebel one's Echo's broken his hand, so I didn't want to palm that off on someone.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Jeff, go on.
Yeah, Evan, you can still paint them. You can paint the Rebel ones. These are the
different colours.
Republic. Absolutely.
And you can follow our tutorial for that one.
It's like you do the same thing, and then you like get them a little bit like grungier. That's basically the Rebel version.
Yeah, and a bit of color on them.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah,
obviously,
I'll take you up on that.
And obviously, Omega exists on it as well. So there you go. Back to Jack. Jack, you have been painting, which is awesome. And so, what have you been painting, and where can people see them, please?
I've been painting. So I painted the Riot Troopers. I've done them with a third way of painting white armor. If you didn't need any more, I've sort of shifted away from painting really fancy, artsy fartsy rubbish that takes hours and hours and hours that people don't have time for, and I don't have time for anymore with 2 sprogs. So yeah, everything's sort of like, how quickly can I do this to make it look good? How quickly can I do this and make cut the corner here, but still have it look like a fancy model?
Yeah.
So painting white armor with speed paints. The next one will be painting clothes with speed paints for the sleeper cell.
Nice.
Speed paints are actually pretty good. So I've been using a lot of them.
Nice. So where can people find these videos, please?
On the YouTube channel. If Tom was here, and
it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing someone else responsible remembers what our YouTube channel is. Isn't that right, Andy? Do you remember?
That's no moon pod.
YouTube.com/@TNMpod. You can find videos on there as well as recent battle reports from recent events. I think it was, what was the GT that was done recently that we have recorded some videos?
Cardiff.
Thank you very much. So you've got the Cardiff battle reports going on there. You have cars going next door. You have Jack painting videos and so much more coming forward and that sort of stuff. Ollie, anything you got to add on videos wise or anything like that you want to add? No, that's cool. Just checking, just fine. There is only really one more thing to talk about, which is the Charity NFL Football League, which is this. Yes. We've been running we've been taking part in a charity NFL American Fantasy Football League with friends and podcasters from across the globe. I think is a fair. It's true. Of which we've had Jack, Andy, me, Ollie, Evan's been in it. You've got the guys from Stabcast and all this sorts of stuff. And so I thought I'd give a little update because it's the playoffs. So this is the point where it comes into knockout football, where we're now into pretty much the semi-finals. We had the quarterfinals last week, and the quarterfinals were determined in a very tight margin. And basically, the Stabcast guys were up against myself and Matt Haslam, who have defeated the Stabcast guys in hilarious fashion. I didn't think I'd manage to go through because Stabcast Will was going as the top seed and I was not the top seed, and I managed to beat him. And so in the next round of the semi-final was me and Haslam representing the same charity, which I'll talk about in a minute. And in the other semi-final is our friend of the show and yours, Austin Miller, versus Zeus Juice from Canada. And they're fighting out. So I thought what I'd do is I'd quickly mention the charities that are in the final 4, albeit there's only 3 charities, because they're all amazing causes. So the first one, Zeus Juice told me about his charity, and it's going to, and if he wins, there'll be many, many dollars going to Meeples for Peoples, which is a charity based in St. Louis, Missouri. And the idea is that they gather board games and games for veterans and other people in need to help them with their mental health, and obviously just improve quality of life in St. Louis and all this sort of stuff. So that is a cool charity to get involved with. So should he win the tournament, that's where his winnings or the winnings of the tournament will go to. Austin's charity is the Living Like Larry Farm Foundation mission. It's Living Like Larry Farm Sanctuary. And the mission statement, it says here, is it's a reprieve for animals who would otherwise companion animals who have been failed. So our mission is to educate. Their statement isn't. Hang on a second. I'm trying to read their statement. Is there? Who would otherwise be slaughtered for consumption and for companion animals who have been failed. Our mission is to educate and inspire change in the way society views and treats animals while promoting and demonstrating a sustainable lifestyle that will better serve humans and animals alike. May all beings receive mercy, justice, compassion, and peace. So it's an animal charity based in Brantford, Florida, United States. So that is something close to Austin's heart because he is a big animal lover, which I guess is why he's really close friends with Ollie. Sounds about right. Oh, he's gone quiet. Tony, you have something to say? No? Yeah, go on. He's got his hand up. Right, go on then. You can when I finish this bit. I haven't finished yet. We've just got one more charity to talk about, and then I'll come on to it in a wee minute, mate. Don't worry. So then me and Haslam are pulling for and hoping for a win for the Joshua Tarrant Trust, which is a charity based out near Haverhill, where I live, raising money for sick children who have brain tumours and look to increase their quality of life towards the end of their short, unfortunate lives and things like that. So it's a good cause there, and they're all good causes. And the final will be next week. But at the moment, it is me and Matt Haslam in one semi-final, Zeus Juice and Austin in the other. So may the best teams win, and we shall see what happens there. Other news, events. Tony, I believe you had something to say. Do you know how many? Or Andy, you might know because obviously you're involved in the higher up stuff.
I don't have the exact numbers. That is kept by Dave. Yeah.
So you can get.
Yeah, we had 16 last year, and I'm pretty sure his aim was to get 24 this year.
So process of elimination, you can guarantee. So there's definitely so you have England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and maybe Northern Ireland.
I don't think there's any Ireland.
Ireland don't have a team.
Don't have a team.
Oh, okay, so
Northern Ireland.
Oh, okay. So you got England, Scotland, Wales, France, Italy, Spain, Germany. Netherlands.
No Italy, no Spain.
Italy. No Spain.
Based on the countries from last year, and then I think what the large majority is obviously everyone who came last year enjoyed it, so they're bringing extra teams.
Yeah.
So, for instance, Wales had one team and now have 3 teams.
They had a very mixed Welsh team last year.
Yeah. So some of the increase is more in players from the countries that were already represented, but then I believe countries like Poland who weren't represented are trying to come this year.
Nice.
So there are a few extra countries, but we had, if I remember right, it was 11. No, it must have been about 10, 11 countries.
Yeah, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, England, Wales, USA. That's 7 straight off the bat. There was an Italian team last year. Tony, we can hear you giggling away. You and Jeff have a little chat in the background.
Yes, there was an Italian team.
It's hilarious. It's fine. No, so it's cool, but I assume that means there's going to be a Canadian team that's separate to the US team, obviously, for obvious reasons.
There was that chance, and there's Australia and China were also in talks of trying to get teams. Yeah, China were trying to get their team together.
Ooh.
I believe Dave was trying to be their representative just to help them get the ball rolling with
That's
that.
True, he does. He's got some links over there, isn't he? Jeff?
Yeah.
Jeff, go on.
Just when you finish this section, more event stuff afterwards.
Absolutely fine. No, it's fine. Teams, obviously, England, I think, are fielding minimum 3 with a 4th team. I know that for sure.
Yes, the 4th team is a standby judging team.
Yep.
So if they're
Tony's saying there's definitely 4 by looks things. Oh, look at that!
They are a 4th team, but they are only if it's odd numbers.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, well,
I
there we
love
go.
being involved in these conversations. I'm being told, the person fucking running the event doesn't get told this shit. If you listen, Dave, which I'm sure you do, make sure you include me.
He doesn't count you as a battle gamer.
Yeah.
That's cool. I know I'm in. Nice. I know. Obviously, I know there's.
Run over.
I know that. So you got the 3. I know that three of the teams I definitely know about are Team Try Hard, which is Ollie, Jeff, Dave, and Lila. Team not going to be trying hard. Team. Well, it's one of that, isn't it? You're definitely doing that. And then I know I'm involved in a team somewhere, which is fun. And yeah, exactly. So it's where
Drag a team down.
Yeah, it's all good. So it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And Evan, are you coming over?
That's the plan.
Yeah. Good. I like it.
It sounds like a blast, especially with you there, Ali.
How many
We'll give it
yeehaws?
20 yeehaws.
Is the Sheffield equivalent of yeehaw an eop?
A good night, though.
There we go. So that's World Team Championships. Superb. So that's World Team Championships, and that's next summer. Tony, do you remember the exact date? Andy, do you remember the exact date?
It's March is Worlds. May.
It's there you go.
Yeah.
No, there you go. And spoiler alert.
It's the week before Games Expo.
Yep. And yes. Spoiler alert, we'll be streaming it. And I think Jack and Tom are doing the stream team, along with, and I believe, because he volunteered, Ben from Crafty Terrain is going to be looking. He wanted to get involved with the streaming and taking part and having fun as well. So stay tuned on that one. Jeff, you had something you wanted to say.
Just to remind all the listeners of www.legionevents.app. We had a big splurge of Legion events from the US in support of the LVO Invitational Series. That's kind of fallen off a little bit. So if there are any US podcasters listening, if you head to legionevents.app, at the bottom of that page, and we are trying to get it moved up, is a little button with a plus to stick your own event on. It'll ask you for some details like the geographical location, the date, and a web link to where people can buy tickets, or like a Facebook page for more information. Give it 24 hours or so for us to approve it, to make sure there's no naughtiness in the names, and that'll appear on the app for people to go and peruse. So we've got quite a few UK ones. We've got a few like Scandinavian and everything, and we just need to get that word out a bit more.
Yeah, and just for extra on that, we'll put the show description in the link, the show description link. We'll put the link for that in there as well, just to help out. Cool. Right, I think it's time to wrap up the show, unless anyone has any other business they'd like to add. I'm going to take that as a no. Good work. So we'll go. Killy, Where can people find you? And have you got a shout out for a store, please, if you want to? Yeah. Are they not putting that in the hellhole that is Basra? And if you're interested, I do mean Basra, as in Basildon. Oh, okay. Oh, Towyland, pure Towyland. Nice. Thank you very much. Dr. Paul, how can people find you, read blogs, and do all these sorts of things that you do?
Yeah, read the blogs, and now, and probably for the foreseeable future, listen to the podcasts. So I'm taking on a little bit of an expanded role at the Fifth Trooper, and there'll be more on that we're going to cover on the blog and on the podcast. So if you already listened to Notorious Scoundrels, you'll hear about it there. But yeah, come and say hey.
Cool. Reese, our second ever patron supporter. Where can people find you for games if they want to come up and find you down in Michigan?
I usually play at a shop called the Gamers Wharf. That's basically the only place around here. There's another one called Far Harbor as well.
Good name.
The only two places I play.
Cool. Nice. Tom. Same question. Nice. the Badlands. No, that's cool. Well, we look forward to seeing you at upcoming tournaments and stuff. Will we see you at MKGT? Not MKGT, excuse me. Chopper Base Open. Oh, cool. Nice. So when you see Tom, give him a say hello and be kind. Tony Fox. Anyone you want to shout out or say thank you to, or how can people contact you if they want to have a game with you? Nice. Cool. Well, we'll do that then. That's fine. Jeff, same question.
I am on Discord, but very rarely use it because I am over 30. So best thing is Facebook.
And you also
I can't work Discord.
What you also have,
and the next 10 years.
What you also have is your own dedicated server channel, a server / like sub channel on our Discord,
doesn't
our
know
Patreon
that.
Discord. We don't know, so you're special on there. So if everyone is interested in the Church of Podfree, just jump in there for a Podfree quote now and again. That's what you want.
I'll look at it once a week.
Yeah. So well, Jack is excited just to that once a week prospect. So there we go.
On a Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday morning in your own personal mass. Boys, I think that's the show. Andy, any Chopper Base info open before we close?
Don't forget to buy your tickets to Chopper Base to be qualify for the early bird ticket prizes.
Nice.
We've got Doble donating cards and ComScam donating tokens for early bird purchases as a raffle.
Nice. Jack, anything to shout out or announce?
No.
Perfect. No, that's all good. Ollie, anything for yourself? Cool. So this has been That's No Moon. I've been Cockles, and we have had a great show. And thank you for listening this year. This is the last show of the year. We will next recording the next show early January. I'll double check the dates once I look at a calendar. But we wish you all a happy holiday season and a happy new year. And just remember that when you are drinking your alcohol, that Jaeger Bomb's ABV is lower than a glass of wine. And on that note, have a wonderful time, have a wonderful Christmas and holiday period, and enjoy the new year. And thank you for listening to That's No Moon. All the best. Cheerio. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to That's No Moon, a Star Wars Legion podcast. To keep up to date with us, please like and follow us on Facebook, That's No Moon, a Star Wars Legion podcast, and Instagram, That's No Moon Podcast.